What's up, YouTube? It's Leah's mom, Ty, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips on things to look out for when finding a lender. These tips are very important, and I wish I would have known them before I got in with my lender. So, stay tuned. So if you see me looking down, I have my notebook with my 5 tips. Let's get started. So my first tip is to ask your realtor to look this person up or look into them. Do they know anything about them? Because the realtor, a good realtor, if you find a realtor that knows about the section that you're looking for. So I'm in Michigan, and the real estate agent that I chose knows about the city and the surrounding cities that I was looking for. So if that is the case, they also should know and be able to point you out to a good lender. Now, the difference between a lender and not a lender, I'm sorry, a broker, a mortgage broker, and just a bank or a credit union. A bank or a credit union are big conglomerates. Like, they're just, well, a bank might be a big conglomerate, and your credit union is your credit union. And while they're really good, they just have their normal rates. Everything's locked in the way it is. They don't have to kind of pander to you. They don't have to jump through hoops, because technically they are who they are. But a mortgage brokers should they get a commission to find you a home loan through anywhere. It doesn't matter. Like, they're going to find you a home loan that best fits you. And so they kind of do it on commission, so you know that you're going to get your best rates. In the end, I got a really good rate, and I got a good lender. But the mortgage broker that I used was the worst company ever. So please look into your broker before you move forward. So your real estate agent can tell you, this person, oh, I've heard them before, they're not really good. I've used them multiple times. They get good loans. They can, they're really good. They're good with closing. They're good with getting everything underwriting through really fast, because depending on whether you have conventional or FHA or VA or whatever kind of loan that you're getting, it could be different. So if you have a FHA, you could go as long as 45 days before you close, whereas when you have a conventional, maybe you can close in 15 to 20 days, depending on if all your ducks in a row. So it's very important that you ask your real estate agent, because if you have a good real estate agent, they will let you know. And my real estate agent told me they hadn't really heard of the mortgage brokers that I chose, but the previous real estate agent that I had, who worked through Keller Williams, recommended them, but I had to end up firing her, and I guess that should have been my neon sign over there, because she was not a great real estate agent. Not to say that she was terrible, so I should have known from the get-go. I only fired her because she said, like, when I was looking for houses, I would call her and she would be like, oh, I already have clients today, I can get you tomorrow, instead of calling one of her partners and getting me with someone else, or saying I can get you later on that day after I've seen my clients. She was just a flat out, I already have somebody today, I'm gonna have to see you later. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see you later. And I found another real estate agent that knew what she was doing, that if she was busy, she got one of her partners in the same firm, which was Keller Williams, but a different sector, like a different location. So that is important. Ask your real estate agent. Number 2, ask your broker about the lending process. How long does it usually take them to close? Because they can't answer that to you, especially if it's a conventional, or if it's an FHA or VA, Fannie Mae, whatever it is. They can give you a ballpark to let you know, okay, this is how long it usually takes us. Make sure that you're looking on their Facebook, their Zillow, their everywhere you can look, Trulia, Redbook, Redfin, whatever, wherever it is that you can look to find out look at their reviews, because I only looked at their Facebook, which was full of rainbows and kittens and everything like that. But Zillow showed me that they had a little issue with the closing part. I did my due diligence. I called 3 different lenders. I asked questions about rates, different things about, conventional versus FHA, this and that. And I don't know, I'm sorry if this is distracting. I am doing a kitchen renovation, and that's going to be my next week vlog. So I have to get that orange soap to scrub this off. So sorry, because I keep seeing that in my viewfinder and it is distracting me. So let's keep my hands down. But I spoke to them, I asked good questions, and I thought I was doing a really good job. The broker that I started with, he was amazing, but they have a team. You should ask them, do you work with a team? Do you follow it all the way through, through the writing process? Because he was the only one to get my application approved and this and that. But once it came to the paperwork portion, to be sent to the underwriter, there is another person that he passed it off to, and she was the reason it was the worst. She didn't return phone calls. She never returned emails. She only sent me stuff asking me questions of stuff I already gave her. She would ask me where my W-2 was, or, and this is later on in the process. And you should have had all this stuff. And I would email back or text back like, look in the place that I asked this person, asked Mike, that was the guy that I started with. He had that information. Are you guys losing my information? What's going on? Because you should have this. And then it will always be like, oh, yes, I have it. I just thought maybe you had access to it quicker, so I wouldn't have to go looking through. And, of course, whatever. But that part, was really crazy. Knowing whether it's a whole team, how does the team work? If there is a team, you want to know that person's name so you can look them up, because the person you started with may have really good reviews. Because anytime she wasn't answering my calls, I would call him and he would find out for me, which should have been, again, another sign. But I was already in it. So that brings me to option. I was kind of far in it, underwriting, you basically almost done. But that brings me to tip number 3. It is never too late to jump ship. Any real estate agent will tell you, it kind of, you kind of want to talk it out with your seller, but your seller is always already basically accepted your offer. They want to sell that house. It's kind of a guaranteed thing. If you're telling them the reason why you're leaving is because you have a crap mortgage broker, they may want to leave too, because it holds up the closing process. And if you found someone else, if you had conventional, it might go quicker. FHA might be a little longer, because you have to go through the inspection and the appraisal part again, and then you have to worry about whether you wanted to pay. And that's what kind of made me want to stay. But the peace of mind is worth paying that extra $800 to, do the inspection and the appraisal again. But if you don't, stay on their ass. Excuse the language, but that's tip number 4. Call every day if you have to. If you see that your closing is taking longer than 30 days, even with FHA, you want to know why is it taking so much longer, especially if they're not calling you, asking you for additional information or additional paperwork and everything. You want to know what is going on, how much longer, what is the holdup, who is the problem, is it the seller, is it you guys, who is the problem? And then when you stay on their butt, because that was with me, I was calling them every day, like, what's going on? Oh, okay, underwriters, you're on their desk, they have 3 people ahead of you or 7 people ahead of you. It was always something to do with them. The seller was ready, we were ready, everybody was good to go except for them. So, sorry if you hear my dog, he's growling. But it was crazy. And I'm like, could you hurry up? Let's go. And then they didn't even, at the end, you're supposed to get a summary of, and you're supposed to sign it, a summary of everything itemized of what's going to be closing, what your closing cost is, what you need to bring to the table, what your seller is closing. If you didn't ask for any contingencies like the seller paying your closing costs or something like that, all of that will be laid out on this sheet of paper. Mine didn't come to the day of closing because they took the whole 45 days and we had to be out, of our rental by the 1st, and we closed literally on the 28th of May. So we were like, and me being me, I was like, I'm ready to scrap this whole thing. There will be other houses. I don't even care. Like, I don't care about that seller. I don't care about this mortgage broker. We have a real estate agent. We'll find another house, and I'm going to just go with another broker after this, because they were just holding it up just like it was so crazy. Like, asking for paperwork that they already had, saying underwriters were taking 3 million years. She even called me at one point with paperwork, something about my bank statement looked like I took out a certain amount of money, let's say $500, no, let's say $800, when it was actually $600. She thought the 8 was a 6. And I'm like, this is like a week before closing. So I'm like angry, I'm like cussing people out, and I'm just like furious. So always stay on their behind, making sure that they are just doing what they're supposed to do, because once they got you in, they think it's all gravy train, that you're not going to be able to do anything. But like I said, it's never too late to walk away. You can speak to the seller, you can speak to your real estate agent to speak to the seller and see if they can give you a little bit longer so you can find a actually good broker, because that is important. And so lastly, research the people that holds your loan. The broker is somebody different than the person that holds your actual loan. So let's say the broker, finds you a loan with Chase Bank. Chase Bank. Chase Banks is everywhere. But what if they place you with a loan from a lender from ABC Bank? You don't know ABC Bank, so you want to make sure that you research them. Go to the Better Business Bureau and look them up, because a lot of the time they're going to sell your loan anyway. So this was the last tip anyway, because it's not as important, because a lot of banks will sell your loan. It's just the thing that they do. They'll sell it multiple times, and that's just the way that it is. But you at least want to know the person you're going into a loan with initially, because maybe they do dirty dealings. Maybe it's not a well-known bank. Maybe this bank has only been up for 3 years. You really want a bank that's only been up for 3 years, or maybe, it could be anything. So you want to research that last one just to be sure, just it is what it is at the end of the day. So maybe you want to go with them, maybe you don't. You always have the option to tell your broker. If you have a good broker that I looked up this mortgage lender and I don't like them, I don't like their reviews, I don't like their Better Business Bureau standing, find me another lender. And you can definitely do that. Again, they go by commission, so they will find you another one, because the very first one I did choose was terrible reviews. Like, they would say their website was always down, and then when people would try to pay, most of the time mortgage is due on the 1st, but you get to the 15th before it's actually late, and these people websites will always be down, and I'm like, how is that even possible? So it will make the person's mortgage late even though it wasn't their fault. And I saw that at least 3 or 4 times on the Better Business Bureau, and I'm like, how are they still open? So I told them to go find me another lender. Now again, I may not be with this lender forever, because lenders sell your mortgage all the time, but at least I knew I did not want to be with that other lender, and I have a pretty good lender right now. So that's all I have, and I can go on a really long rant, and I wish I could give y'all these people names so y'all stay away, but I don't know. If anybody is in Michigan, hit me up on a private message and I'll give you their name. So If you have any questions about this process or anything maybe I didn't cover, go ahead and comment down below. So thanks so much for subscribing. I have so many new subscribers and I just want to give you guys a shout out. You're the best. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking my channel, and thanks for commenting. Commenting is so important, and I just wanted to give you guys a little thanks. I am Leah's mom, and my name is Ty. If I say that in my introduction, but I just kind of want to make the distinction. If you see me in your live or anything like that, you can call me either or. I answer to both. But we're going to close out today with a little something from Leah.
Press the subscribe button. If you don't, just smash it and get a thumbs up. And goodbye. Stay tuned.